Hey everybody, this is the mtg noob and we are going to be doing a two-man event. In two-man events, basically you put up two tickets and you vie for a pack. We are playing black-white tokens. This hand really isn't anything sexy, but we are on the play, so we're going to keep it. We have some evolving wilds to thin out our deck. We have all of our colors, etc., etc. So we can't really deal with a turn 1 Delver, so we're hoping that's not the case. And we will crack here, and seems like we are in the mood for a plains. We only have one other swamp in the deck, but we have two black sources already. Alright, this is a nice draw. We'll play at another Evolving Wild and we'll pass the turn. No sense in getting too crazy. We're kind of a slower tokens build that's more control-ish, etc., etc. I think I'm going to be O-ringing that on my turn because that guy's a beating. The other option is to potentially wait for a pod on turn 3. But now since we drew another O-ring, there's no sense in not just O-ringing that Stranglerootgeist right there. Okay, so that takes away some of it. I could have flashed in a token or two and potentially gotten there, but seems like that's not where we want to go. Okay, so as long as he doesn't have an O-ring of himself and doesn't really hit a crazy land, hoping he didn't hit a red source there. Red source is kind of hard to deal with. But we do have another O-ring. So Blade Splicer is kind of hard to deal with. That's also a really good draw. So how am I going to do this? I think I'm going to dismember the token. And I think I'm going to leave up mana for Midnight Haunting. Now, the only thing is, I can also O-ring the token. I got to be careful that he doesn't have a Restoration Angel, because a Restoration Angel will be a problem in this instance. So I'm going to play out my land, and I'm going to ponder what I want to do. Let me know what you would do here. Would you just O-ring the Blade Splicer? Would you O-ring the token and hold up Dismember? I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to O-ring the token. I'm just a little bit worried about... I want to flash this in because it's really good. But I don't want my guys to get chumped and eaten up. Okay, so we do the token. Yeah, I think this should be more than fine here. We'll get rid of his token, not his Splicer, because his token can still block our dudes that come in. Right now, his Blade Splicer can. Okay, we will definitely put creatures in first before they get the buff. So make sure, if you're a newer player, you put the ability to have the creatures happen last, because if you don't, they won't get the bonus, and that's always going to be an issue. Okay, so with that one swing, we hit him down to 13. Okay, he's got Cavern of Souls here. We have to assume he's probably got Restoration Angel or Huntmaster of the Fells. I would think he's flashing in Restoration Angel here, which we are then going to just kill it with a Dismember. I think we keep up Dismember and then... Let's see. We'll see what he does first. Once again, I have to put the tokens to come in last because it goes first in, first out, or something of those nature. So I'll click the 1-0 effect first, then the tokens will come in, and everything will get buffed. I have a feeling he's going to Blade Splicer, try to regrow the Blade Splicer here. If not, then he's just on the fence. Okay, so here comes the Resto Angel. just like I thought. Okay, and we were just going to dismember for full value his blade splicer. Now, the two options here are he's going to take a bunch, so he'll probably block this, and then he'll take 8 going to 5. The two options are play hero. I think we do that. I think we play hero, even though Midnight Haunting does have evasion. Putting in 2 more guys is better. So we'll kill his blade splicer here. He's going to be able to block our hero. And even if he has a bonfire off the top, he can't miracle it for 4. So that would leave us with 2 blade splicers, 2 hero of blade holds in play. Okay, so he's got Stranglerootgeists. I think we want the extra hero. I think Sorin in this matchup, although it makes tokens and gives us an anthem effect, is pretty weak. So he seems to be on Naya aggro and or Naya Pod. I'm thinking he's on Naya aggro. We're on the draw here, so I'm going to bring in these timely reinforcements as well. Purge isn't really stellar. The only thing it really hits, I believe, is Huntmaster of the Fells, and that's not great. He probably does have Zealous Conscripts of his own, so we got to be careful about all these Hero of Blade holds, because if we stick it and then he goes swipe Zealous Conscripts, so that being the case, I think I definitely want a go for the throat. What is not great in this matchup? There's a lot of stuff that's good. I'm slightly worried about that Zealous Conscripts play, because I would think he has one. Just in case he is on pod, we might want the Stony Silences in Game 3, but I'm not going to risk him in this game. I think for the most part, we're pretty good. Champion doesn't seem very strong, so maybe I don't cut those for more control cards. Play the full set of O-rings. Stony Silence, like I said, doesn't seem amazing. And maybe we could mise with this one of Active Aggression. That seems fine. Purge, it's too narrow. And I think Sorin isn't good, especially on the draw. So let's try to run this, see what happens. Okay, so we want something like... this is okay. Lingering Souls buys us a lot of time. This is a very removal light hand, but Vault of the Archangel is actually very good because it gives a lot of our guys Death Touch and Lifelink. So even if we play a ton of tokens out, then we will end up being able to gain some life off of this. Yeah, see, that's the thing you want to worry about in this instance. Like, turn 1 birds is very hard for a deck like ours to deal with, especially if he goes like turn 3 pod or something crazy. Next turn we're just going to crack this. Going to get a swamp. Stranglerootgeist is actually fine in this case. Going to take a beating from it. We'll get the swamp. Then we're going to plop down an Intangible Virtue on our turn. There's no point in not doing that. Okay, so we shall see. His draw is pretty good. One card I do kind of miss from my list is... that's a good draw as well. Is Day of Judgment in the board. I might want to go back to that. This is a list that I took from a daily event that went 4-0. I usually like to do that. Kind of good for having the pulse of the metagame for the Magic the Gathering Online. Okay, so maybe Gather was not very wise to keep in here. I could play Lingering Souls. The thing is, I don't really want to go and make too many tokens here, because then Timely's not going to give me as many guys. So right now we're down in life. It's not the greatest play, but I'm just going to make Timely for 3 3 guys. And he probably has a Restoration Angel, but the gaining 6 life is still pretty good. Okay, and we want to basically play to this. Okay, there's his Restoration Angel, just like we had figured. Okay, he makes Stranglerootgeist. So on our turn, we might make Lingering Souls. We still don't want to get blown out by Bonfire of the Damned. I think we're in a position where we can... It's probably safest to take this and take 5 and go to 17. Like I said, I really don't want to get blown out by Bonfire of the Damned. So I'm going to take it, but I know that doesn't make sense because if he does have it, he wipes my board. But we'll see what we come up with. Okay, another Plains is pretty good. We lose a guy if we attack here and he has Restoration Angel. However, I think it's worth the attack. Okay, there's the Angel, I would assume. Okay, that's fine. So we'll probably lose 2 guys. But that's also okay. So he'll block. We'll lose 2 guys. Stranglerootgeist will come back. So here I don't see a point in surprising him, but we kind of need to make some blockers. So the best play is probably the Midnight Haunting, especially if he has a way to remove a lot of my guys with like a Bonfire. Then I'm just playing into that, and that would be pretty terrible. So right now I'm going to probably be chumping an Angel and the Stranglerootgeist. Here comes a Midnight Haunting. He might have removal, but we have to kind of block here. And we'll block his Stranglerootgeist. Okay, we don't have much of a board presence at this point, but I'm just going to Lingering Souls and make some tokens. Ooh, okay, so he does have Pod. That definitely is bad because now he can chuck this Angel and get an Acidic Slime and destroy my land or my intangible Virtue. So I would think he's going to hit the Virtue. And then he could Pod up to a 6-drop. So we're kind of cold to this Pod at the moment. We did not draw the O-Ring, and that definitely kind of sucks. We really just have to try to get some pretty sweet things going. We know if this is going to go to Game 3, which I would say at this point it's looking likely, I'm going to bring in definitely 100% going to bring in the Birthing Pod hate, so to speak. The Stony Silences, because then that'll put us at a pretty good advantage. Right now we're just kind of sitting here. This card is going to be very hard for us to deal with. I don't know what this is. Okay, maybe a Wormcoil Engine, maybe an Inferno Titan, something of that nature. Okay, and see what this is. Huntmaster? Nope. Zealous Conscripts. Okay. So he's going to give his Wormcoil haste. Oh, he's going to give his Pod. Oh, man, he's going to Pod up to Elesh Norn. Yep. Okay, so we're going to get our butt kicked right now. We basically have to end up drawing an O-Ring for Elesh Norn. Then we take 9. And that's going to be pretty bad. I'm definitely going to reboard in this game. But he did have... we can also draw our Active Aggression. Okay, or another Vault of Archangel. Alright, well, I feel kind of stupid. That kind of sucked. But it is what it is. We drew okay in that game. I would say he played well, so Props to my opponent, but now we're on to you and your game. Alright, so these stony silences definitely are coming in. And kind of maybe even want more active aggressions. Let's see. So if that's the case, we're on the play here. I don't think we're the aggro deck. I think we're more the control deck, but right now this is kind of our kill condition, and that's not a very good one. So if I cut the gather the townfolk, I'm okay with that. I don't really love it. Maybe I should cut the Doom Travelers. Let me know what you think. You know what? I'm going to cut the Doom Travelers because Gather, at least in a pinch, makes some good guys. And I'll cut one of Active Aggression. Okay, so we'll run this back. We have no Sorens in, no Champions, and no Travelers. Put in 2 Axe, another Hero, 2 more O-Rings, 3 Stony Silence, a Go for the Throat. And that's how we're going to rock this thing. Okay, we will play. Here we go. This hand is not the greatest. This is a hand I might actually have to mulligan due to the potential turn 2 pod, turn 3 blowout. It does have lingering souls. Let me know what you think you would have done here. Would you mull this? If he pods up to something big, I could steal it, but that really doesn't do much. We do have a Vault of an Archangel, which does kind of change the math. You know what? I'm gonna try to keep this. Let me know if you would have mulliganed this. It's not the greatest hand, I'll give you that much. But we did board kind of into a slower deck, so we'll play this Plains out. And the thing about his deck, which is hard for us to deal with, is the fact that it does play pod, but it also functions pretty well without the pod. This is turn 3 pod. I'm kind of in a beating. Alright, so Stranglerootgeist, that's fine. Oh, bird doesn't attack. Okay, we'll take 2 here. Okay, and Pilgrim. So he's got a ton of mana, so he came out pretty explosive. I'm just going to make Lingering Souls here. The reason I'm going to make Lingering Souls is because it makes 2 tokens. They trade with his attackers. He ends up in a sense where if he has a land, he could play a 5-drop here, and it can kill our Honor the Pure. Okay, I am chumping that. And then we're going to, next turn, play Honor the Pure and probably flashback Lingering Souls. Okay, taps 4 for Huntmaster. Okay, and it's going to be a little bit hard to deal with. We are bricking pretty heavy on the land here. We drew Honor the Pure since then, and that's not really the greatest of things. He's still got 3 cards in hand. So we'll flash this in. We have a bunch of guys. Okay, and I don't know if this works, but what I'm going to try to do on my upkeep is he's going to try to transform. I'm going to pay 3 here and steal his Huntmaster. I don't know if this will work. Oh, he's got the Angel. Okay, so that kind of sucked that he has the Angel. But we were going to try to steal his Huntmaster and shoot down his Huntmaster and hit him for 2. And now it's pretty bad. We're screwed. Okay, so Dismember is not really going to do much. I'm going to have to pay the 2 life and probably dismember this right here, right now. I can't risk stuff happening. Alright, so we'll do that. He's got so many wolves at this point. and a Restoration Angel. So, yeah, this game did not pan out. We probably should have mulliganed. So keep that in mind. Everything's coming in. Did we take 7? I think we gotta actually just take 7 and go to 5 here. The reason being we have Vault of the Archangel in hand and we can gain 6 life back. Okay, Blade Splicer it up. Okay, and another one. Jeez, you were not respecting Day of Judgment out of the board at all, which is fine. Maybe he heard my commentary somehow how I wasn't playing it. Okay, well, we're at 5. So that actually was a pretty good draw. We're just going to play it. And we're just going to make 5 2/2s. And I am very glad that there was not a Doom Traveler. And now we just kind of can't die this turn. And then we could end up potentially swinging for a bunch. But we are at 5. And we can't necessarily kill everything. And Blade Splicers are going to eat some of our guys. So if I were him, I might go all in here. Unless, of course, he has like an acidic slime. He's thinking, so I have to assume he has some sort of play here. Outside of just alpha striking, whether it's flashing in another angel or playing an acidic slime on my honor to appear, pre-combat, post-combat. He doesn't have enough mana for Elesh Norn. But if he does, that's going to kill us. If he had one more land. So right now the current board state is me with 8 tokens, 16 power, versus him with a bird, a pilgrim, Shrine Rootgeist, 2 wolves, 2 golems, 2 blade splicers, and a restoration angel. That being the case, we are in one hell of a stalemate here. Okay, and stuff's happening. Okay, he's got Birthing Pod. So now he's going to Birthing Pod away his angel and end up with an acidic slime for my honor to appear. Which is, a really good play and not so stellar for us. Okay, so angel goes bye-bye. He might also slime my vault, but I have to assume he's going to slime my honor to appear. Okay, so he slimes my vault. I'll pretend I have a spell here. And I'll float a mana. And we'll go to combat. And I'll let that mana float away. Okay. Alright, well, we have an O-ring. O-ring for pod doesn't really do much in this instance. But we gotta stop his pod chain. So we will do that. If I were him, I might have ended up killing the honor of the peer there, because I would have had to do a lot of trading, and I don't think I could have ended up kicking as much butt as I want to without a vault. He's got a lot of dudes. His dudes outclass my dudes. If this is Elesh Norn, this is just game. I don't see why he wouldn't play the land. Oh, he's got a giant. Is it Sun Titan? Primeval Titan? Let's see. See what this giant is. Inferno Titan. Okay, that sucks. He gets the kill. I would assume he's just going to shoot me. Yeah, he puts me to 2. Then he just goes to attack step. So we need an answer right now off the top. Lingering Souls is not an answer. Okay, so we'll go all in on this swing. See if he somehow makes a terrible block of some sorts where we can get value. Lingering Souls was good, but Inferno Titan there, whether it was off the top or not, was a pretty good draw. He might have just needed the cavern etc., etc. So we did not win, but I think we played pretty well outside of the mulligan. If you see any play mistakes, please let me know in the comment section. It is a very, very big help for you to tell me so I don't make the same mistakes in the future. And as always, thanks for watching. Please check out my other videos. Please tell all your friends about my channel. Please tell everybody about the contest that's going on, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching.